Welcome back, everybody. In this segment here, we will be taking our first set of questions from the stakeholders who are here representing their various organizations. Earlier, the Minister would have consulted with some 104 groups from across the country. That's coming up in this segment. And also, we would like to welcome the Honourable Vasant Bharath, who is the Minister of Food Production, Land and Marine Affairs. Minister, could you start with your statement now, your view of the budget presentation in any context that you wish to examine?
Thank you, Francesca. Well, first of all, let me begin by congratulating the Honourable Minister of Finance, putting together a document that only someone with his level of competence, status, and ability would have been able to do. And it marks a radical departure from the traditional slash and burn type of documents that were previously produced, boom and bust type of documents that we would have been accustomed to in the last 7 or 8 years. Because what it did, it recognized that we had some serious issues facing Trinidad and Tobago, and we confronted them. He confronted them together with his team, confronted the issues of CLICO and HCU, the issues of the smelter, the issue of the property tax. All these were serious issues that were confronting us as a population that made us very uncertain about the way forward because they were hanging over our shoulders. But had to balance that with the issues of growth and sustainability in areas like energy and agriculture, tourism, and others. So I want to take this opportunity to congratulate the Honourable Minister for putting together a document that I feel that we as Trinidadians and Tobagonians can be truly proud of, and we feel certain that the economy is in very safe and very good hands, very capable hands, in the hands of the Minister. So congratulations.
Thank you, my friend.
I don't think there's any doubt in anybody's mind that the Ministry of Agriculture has faced its challenges over the years. For far too long, successive governments have spoken about the need to diversify the economy of Trinidad and Tobago. And for far too long, we've talked about agriculture as being an engine to be able to promote that growth. I think if one looks at the current budget today, and you look at all of the headline issues with regard to agriculture and the statements that have been made by the Minister with regard to agriculture, there's no doubt in anybody's mind that agriculture will play a pivotal role in the diversification of the economy and a pivotal role in playing its part as an engine of growth in the economy. There can also be no doubt that agriculture has been an area that has been very badly neglected. And I see many people here today from the Agricultural Society of Trinidad and Tobago and others. And my mandate as Minister in the Ministry of Food Production, Land and Marine Affairs, from the Cabinet and the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, was that we had to get agriculture off the ground. There's no two ways about it. There were no choices, effectively. We had to get agriculture off the ground if we were to be serious about diversifying the economy. The first thing that we did when I got together with the team was that we agreed to have true consultations with all the stakeholders. And when I say true, I mean really true, deep, meaningful consultations with all of the stakeholders. And as a result, we embarked on consultations with virtually all of the farmers' associations in Trinidad and Tobago. And I will tell you, there are probably over 100 farmers' associations in Trinidad and Tobago, and we made it our business to meet with the majority of them, almost all of them. We met with almost all of the fisheries associations in Trinidad and Tobago. We met with the poultry associations. We met with beekeepers. We met with the sheep and goat associations. We met with those licensees who were going to be involved in the large farms. We met with cocoa farmers. We met with pineapple farmers. We met with as many people who we felt could give us an idea of what was wrong with the sector. But more importantly, and more so than what was wrong, the way forward from their perspective. Because they live it every day, they see it every day, they've heard the promises for years on end. How can we help you? How can we work together with the resources that the ministry has and the knowledge and the know-how that you've developed over the years to move this agricultural sector, not in a small way, but in a very stepped, changed way. And I have to tell you that, and as I say, I see many of them here today, and they will attest to the fact that we've met with them not just once, or not just twice, or not three times. We've met with them several times, 5, 6, 7 times, to try to get from them exactly what did you mean by this? What do you suggest how we tackle these areas? And coming out of these discussions, we realized that we had some serious overarching problems that prevented the agricultural sector from moving ahead. Issues of predial larceny. You would have all heard that. It's been a perennial problem from day one. A farmer puts down his crops, turns his back, and at harvest time, it's gone. Somebody else reaps his crops. Issues of land tenure, another perennial problem. And land tenure is an issue that revolves around a situation where if you are not a regularized farmer, in other words, if you don't have title or tenure to your land, you cannot access the incentives that the government offers, nor are you able to access cheaper loans through the ADB. So your entire business is funded on commercial bank loans, and you don't have access to the incentives that the government offers. There are serious issues with regard to water conservation, and we've all seen what happened this year when we had extremities of weather, when we had drought at the beginning of the year. There was no water available to farmers, and then we had massive flooding, and again farms were flooded out. Two extremes, but relatively really the same problem, the same solution to resolve the issue. So when we started looking at all of these issues, the farmers themselves started coming up with this, because they for years have known what the solutions were. And it was that document, it was those consultations that informed the document that we presented as a ministry to the cabinet about 6 weeks ago as to how we will take the agricultural sector forward. Now I want to say this, and I must place this on record, because there has been over the years a lot of criticism of ministries and ministry staff, and I want to congratulate the Ministries of Agriculture, the Ministry of Food Production's staff, because they have really embraced this entire thing with a great deal of gusto and a great deal of pride, I believe. And they need also to be warmly congratulated for having moved from where we were only a short space of time, 3 months ago, to where we are today. And we've made significant inroads. During the course of the conversation, we will talk about some of the issues and how we've dealt with a number of these issues, or we've started dealing with a number of these issues already. Issues, for example, at a number of the fishing ports across Trinidad and Tobago that did not have, or do not still have, basic facilities like toilets and bathrooms and locker rooms to store engines and slipways. Things that are easily solvable, and we've already started to put those things in place to solve them. The issue of land tenure, for example, was a very simple thing to solve. We've disconnected and disentangled the issue of regularization from access to the incentives. So once you are a registered farmer, you no longer need to be regularized through no fault of your own, because there's a backlog in the system that prevents farmers from being regularized at this point in time. We've embarked also on an accelerated program of regularization. So there are a number of relatively straightforward, simple things that we've embarked upon already in the space of 3 months. And there's no doubt, with the allocations that have been made by the Minister of Finance and the focus now on agriculture, that I believe quickly that we are going to resuscitate this industry to a point where we can encourage new and more people to get involved. I just want to quickly talk about two things that we could be so proud about. One is the crop of cocoa. Everybody in this room knows that, and I see some cocoa farmers here, everybody knows that we are one of 8 countries in the entire world that produces fine flavored cocoa. One of 8. In 1921, this country produced 35,000 tons of cocoa. Today, we produce 600 tons of cocoa. We could sell every bean of cocoa to international chocolatiers tomorrow morning. We could sell 20 times what we produce today. But the obstacles and the hurdles in our way prevent us from doing that. Buffalipso is another one. Again, we'll be concentrating on that. Homegrown, developed in Trinidad and Tobago. Just a short space of 3 years ago, we had a herd of over 3,000 healthy Buffalipso in Trinidad and Tobago. Today, we have less than 800, of which more than half are affected by a disease called brucellosis, and they have to be slaughtered. Argentina, the United States, other countries in the world have now taken some of our gene bank in Buffalipso and are developing it for their markets, because the meat has a far less fat content, and its milk, which has a very high butterfat content, is used primarily for the manufacture of mozzarella cheese in Italy and other places. So we have products in Trinidad and Tobago that we can be very proud of, that we can market internationally on the export markets, that are homegrown, that can produce sustainable employment for our people and food security for our people. So this is why I think that my team is so excited, first of all, about the ministry, and secondly, about the focus that the government has placed on agriculture in Trinidad and Tobago. And those are my words.
Thank you very much, Minister. Opening statements there from Minister Vasant Bharath. We're going to go to our live audience in just a minute.